You're listening to the BigIron Buzz. Welcome to our latest episode of the BigIron Buzz, where each week we'll bring you the latest news and trends in the ag, real estate, and used equipment markets. This podcast is brought to you by BigIron Auctions and BigIron Realty, rural America's premier online unreserved auction site, bringing you rural connections, respected values, and real deals. I'm Drew Dolezal. I'm the host of today's show, and I have two guests today, Mark Stock and Ron Stock, both co-owners and co-CEOs here at BigIron Auctions. Well, gentlemen, for the past few weeks, we've talked about the bump in traffic BigIron has seen due to the new social distancing guidelines. Is this still holding true?
Well, yes, it is. April 1st, we had 347 different sellers using BigIron.com. We had just over 1,300 buyers bidding on the 1,657 items. The day of the sale, we had 48,319 IP addresses that were monitoring that auction. And then just this week here, April the 8th, 304 sellers with 1,515 buyers bidding on 1,985 items and over 49,000 IP addresses, 49,436 IP addresses were monitoring that sale. So we're seeing a larger audience on the equipment that is selling on the BigIron.com website. And the phone is sure ringing for a lot of people who want to get equipment sold. And now we're filling auctions up in May and even into June with some of the items that people want to sell. Some of these folks had some items scheduled to sell on some open outcry sales that got postponed or canceled because of the coronavirus rules and regulations about crowd sizes. So now they're resorting to the BigIron brand and the platform that we have to sell those items on upcoming unreserved auctions.
Do you have anything to add, Ron?
Well, we're just noticing an uptick, like Mark said, of people coming to the auction. And surprisingly enough, you know, our independent reps who were asking to be super safe out there, and instead of social distancing 6 or 10 feet, stay 20 feet away from your customer, farmer customer. But the independent reps, thank you guys for going out there and going out there in the machine shed. And once the farmer has his planter pulled out and his sprayer, because he's getting it serviced and ready to run, he's got 2 or 3 pieces in the back of his shed, a corn head, a gravity wagon, or a combine. He's got a spare combine he hasn't used for 3 years that's still in his shed. That's a good time to pull that out and sell it. I noticed last year, Drew, I had some farmers call me and say, Ron Stock, I can't believe how good planters sell after planting season. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I was trying to buy a 24-row John Deere planter, model number I don't remember specifically, but he said, I've been trying to buy them last November, December, or watched they were selling for $75,000. And he goes, I thought, I'll just wait till summer, use my other planter, and I'll buy the same planter in the middle of July and August, and it'll sell for less money. Well, guess what? He watched planters sell, more than one guy, and they said them same planters are bringing $80,000 and $85,000. I said, why do you think that is? Because I was sincerely wanting to know the answer. He goes, well, I think maybe people think planters are going to sell cheap in the middle of summer, so they just think they're getting a better value. So what I'm trying to point out is there's no bad season to sell at BigIron. You can sell a planter the day after everybody's done planting and it still sells good. You can sell a combine in the middle of December. They sell good. They sell good in August. There's no better season to sell at BigIron. So oftentimes when you're selling in the summer months, there might be less planters on the sales site, so they might bring more money. So when you're done using that planter and you think you're going to get a new one next year, don't wait till next year to sell it. Come out. Well, our BigIron rep will come out, take a video of the planter running in the field, take the pictures, and we'll get it on a sale, and you'll be happy with the results.
Well, speaking of prices, we talked a couple weeks ago that we were seeing prices on used equipment that are either at or slightly above market average. Is this still holding true this week?
Well, first of all, there's a bargain on every sale. And a lot of people have been watching our auctions because they're always looking for something that they can buy and use in their operation. And they hope to buy it, you know, at a price that's affordable for them to use in their operation. But, You know, we did have some real good sales results this last April the 8th. We had a Krone Big M 420 mower conditioner located in Hartley, Texas. That sold to a bidder in South Dakota for $162,500. That auction item extended for almost an hour with some competitive bidding. Early that morning, there was only about 100 bids on that item, and it ended up with 288 bids from buyers from all over the country on that one specific item alone. We also were selling quite a few grain trailers. There was a 2015 Tempty grain trailer that sold in Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska. That brought $26,500. We had some more unique items that sold on the Big Iron website. One was a Witzco Challenger RG50 tri-axle hydraulic detached lowboy trailer, brought $25,500. That was located in Cantrell, Iowa. Also, a couple of seeders, air seeders that were selling on the BigIron.com website. There was one, a 2018 model that sold for $75,600, and there was a couple older models, 08 and 09 models, were bringing in the low to mid $40,000 range. Also, we had a 2014 Sunflower 40-foot no-till drill. It was a model 9435. That was located in Colby, Kansas. That had sold for $45,100. We also had a John Deere big square baler located in Greeley, Colorado, brought $83,000. And check out this Kenworth T600 day cab that was located in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. That sold for $38,750. Once again, that was a Kenworth day cab. It was a 2012 model. We had a lot of planters that sold. We had a lot of construction-related items that sold. We had a lot of tractors as well and sprayers. There was a 2012 Miller Nitro that sold for $133,500, and a Case IH 7230 combine brought $140,000. All of our results are always published on BigIron.com, so if anybody's a registered bidder or a user, they can log in, and on the left-hand side of the screen, kind of in the middle of the left-hand side, there's a button called Auction Results. You can just click on that, and you can find the results from a specific sale, or you can type in on the search box a specific make and model of the item that you're looking for, and then those items that have sold in the past will come up on your screen. Now, you do have to scroll down and click All Past Results, so all of the results will come up unless you're looking for just one specific auction day in time to search that specific auction. But we like to publish those results. We know bankers really appreciate using that information because they know we're an unreserved auction and those are legitimate numbers.
Let's talk about next week's retirement auctions, Mark, and see what we got going on there. Retirement auctions, we want to thank everybody out there that's hiring us to have your retirement auction. One of the biggest questions Mark and I get about a retirement auction is, can you sell my small items? Can you sell my grease guns? Can you sell my tools? We're a one-stop shop. When we show up at your place, we palletize that items. We can arrange that for you, but 100% of the job, whatever you want sold, we'll sell it. Don't let your shop full of tools stop you from hiring BigIron.com.
Well, on our April 15th sale, Blue Hill Feeders, they are retiring. They're in Lucas, Kansas. They've got a 2016 Kenworth 370 single axle truck. It's got a Rotomix 620 mixer feeder box on the back. This truck's only got 10,977 miles, so it's a beauty. You got to take a look at that. They got a couple tractors. We got Central Valley Ag in Ainsworth, Nebraska. They're selling a Rogator. It's an RG 1300B self-propelled dry spreader. It's got the air spreader on the back, so check that out. If you're in the market, folks, for construction-related items, we've got plenty skid loaders that are selling. We've got all kinds of good quality excavators and bulldozers. In fact, I believe we've got a sale that's taking place that has some nice construction-related items that will be sold here in Buffalo, Wyoming. They got a Caterpillar 143H 6-wheel drive motor grader with 11,000 hours. They've got a John Deere 750C crawler dozer. They got a Cat 950F wheel loader that's selling. They got a John Deere 4440 tractor as well. They got several trucks that'll haul that heavy stuff around as well. They got a heavy haul triaxle lowboy trailer. So check out Carlat Construction Inc. items. They are selling in Buffalo, Wyoming here on BigIron.com. If you want to have some fun, we got summer coming around the corner. Check out Danny Withers' estate item in Rexford, Kansas. We sold some real estate for the Danny Withers estate here just a couple months back, and we also had some other items that they sold on their sale. But now they're selling a 2015 Can-Am Commander XT 1000 side-by-side. This thing here has got a lot of speed. It'll get up and go. They also have a Yamaha Grizzly. So I know a lot of folks like to use those items when they're checking their pivots, and that's going to happen here sometime soon. We've got the Darwin Diabla sale in Wilson, Kansas, and they've got a Dodge Ram 3500 four-wheel drive flatbed pickup that is going to sell. It's got that fancy Dewey's bale mover box on the back, so you can back up to a round baler and grab it with your forks and load it right up on the back of your trailer, or back on the back of your flatbed or your pickup, and down the road you go. I'm going to drop names here on some retirement sales so people can look it up. Floyd Boswell's retiring from Cheyenne Wells, Colorado. So please help support that sale. George Miller is from Maxville, Kansas. They are retiring here on this upcoming April 15th BigIron online auction. In addition, we have got additional items selling for the Harris Family Inc. Ferris Family Trust in St. John, Kansas. They've got a John Deere 6130D mechanical front tractor with a loader, folks. Only 694 items on this sale. They also have a Case IH WD 2303 swather, folks. That's only got 542 header hours. It's a 2013 model. So we've got some of this low-houred, well-maintained, really nice equipment that is selling on BigIron.com. Ron, why don't you tell them a little bit about Gerald Dolish's retirement sale?
I will in just a little bit. We've got I want to talk to you about my manure spreader I've got selling on BigIron. I own it personally, a 2009 spread all TR22T TA manure spreader, and we stand behind every manure spreader we sell, Mark.
Oh, so, there it is.
Okay. Gerald and Bonnie Dolish, a retirement sale. They're in Tilden, Nebraska. A 2012 John Deere 7260R mechanical front-wheel drive tractor with under 2,000 hours. Of course, they got a 2520. Those tractors are getting to be a rare find. A John Deere 4720 self-propelled sprayer with only 3,200 hours on it, plus much, much more. International grain truck. Jerry Haig in Aurora, Nebraska, one of our agents at BigIron Realty, is selling a Shaban 3-point sprayer. Call Jerry and talk to him. Whatever he tells you about it will be the way it is. He's a very, very honest, forthcoming guy. Loris and Tanya Cook, retirement, over in Campbell, Nebraska, got a 1999 John Deere 9300 four-wheel drive tractor, 95 John Deere 9500 combine. Of course, another 97 International 9300 TA tractor, a popular model. The top kick on the sale. Wilson grain trailer, pretty late model Wilson 2011 grain trailer. John Deere flex head, the side delivery rake, plus much, much more. All selling on BigIron. I see, Mark, did you mention Mark Strasser from Garden City, Kansas? Familiar name there. Meister Land and Cattle from David City. Thank you, guys. Pamela Stone. Really appreciate the business. Appreciate everybody putting some stuff on the website here. Say hi to people we missed here.
I tell you what, altogether, Drew, the April 15th sale, we've got currently on our website 1,485 items. And if you look into April 22nd, a little shout out, there's just about the same number of items, but it's something that everybody needs to look at is the items that are selling for the Oklahoma youth, all members of Oklahoma FFA chapters that first of all, they had their youth expo that got postponed and canceled due to COVID-19, as did all of the state FFA association conventions through almost every state in the union. So we're going to sell the shop-made items for a lot of students that made flatbed trailers, gooseneck trailers, cooking smoker grills, fire pits. They've made bale forks. They've made a lot of items, folks, that are being sold on April 22nd on BigIron.com. They're absolutely unbelievable works of craftsmanship that we want to draw your attention to. So check out April 22nd. Look for the Oklahoma Youth Expo items and support those young men and women in FFA.
Well, very good. I know that BigIron has been a longtime supporter of things like FFA and 4-H. Can either of you speak to that?
Well, I was just looking at my FFA jacket. I got it hanging in my office here, and I don't know how I accumulated all those medals inside, but there's a lot of them. And if you stop by the office, I'm going to show you it still fits me from high school. I can put it on Now instead of being a jacket, it's a vest, but I can still get it on, and it's quite a comedy routine.
Yeah, FFA was a great experience for myself, and of course I put a lot of that to a lot of the advisors that we had. You know, Frank Yassa was a great advisor.
You said it. You better say them all now.
And then I had a real good one, Tim Lowett, and Steve Oberg was my advisor when I was a senior, and he did a great job. But got a lot of respect for the guys and gals that teach agriculture in FFA today, and I know a lot of those people, and hats off to them. They do a great job, and you know, it used to be the Future Farmers of America when I was there. It's no longer that. It's FFA. It's a little different, but it's still all the same. They still got a lot of good programs teaching young people about skills, leadership, communication, a lot of rules and order for conducting business meetings, and of course, the camaraderie that's made through all those students that participate in all those different events throughout the year is something that they'll never, ever forget. So hats off to anybody that's in FFA or graduated from FFA. We sure are appreciative of all the efforts that they have made after they've even got out of FFA.
Very good. Ron, I'll pass this next one over to you. Traditionally, we don't see a lot of ag land sales this time of year, but BigIron Realty does have some new listings. What do we got up for sale right now on auction?
Well, coming up, I'm glad you asked, coming up here on April 16th, which is approximately 1 week, we've got a land auction in Kansas selling 156.3 acres in Barton County, Kansas, and I wanted to focus on that one. Our agent down there, Mike Campbell, tell us we've got the only farm selling at auction that's being advertised on radio, newspaper, anywhere in Kansas. So we're still open for business here during this terrible time at BigIron Realty. You can bid from anywhere, absolutely anywhere. The land location there in Barton County is from Claflin, Kansas. It's just east, about 2.5 miles. And we've got a dry land farm there that is selling at auction. You can call Mike Campbell for all details of it, but let me just tell you a little bit more about it. It's got a wheat base of 108.66 acres, grain sorghum base 15.74 acres, for a total of 124.4. There are no mineral rights selling with the farm. The water rights all go to it, and possession after harvest on acres planted to 2020 wheat. And of course, the owner, Merlin and Darlene Stoss. So thank you, Merlin and Darlene. We had an auction. I knew that name was familiar, Mark. You know, Merlin Stoss. We had a retirement sale.
We had a traditional open outcry sale for the Stoss family back many years ago, and then he come back into farming. Merlin did, and we actually sold some machinery for him here just a couple weeks ago, and now he's selling some land. So repeat business. We appreciate the support, and if you want to give a hold Merlin and ask him questions about his property, he's sure going to tell you he's a straight-up shooter.
Thank you, Merlin. Okay, Rex Mahoney has 2 pivot irrigated quarters selling in Antelope County. Right now, the current bids on them are just $5,900 and $45.55 per acre. But I want to tell you a little bit about them. Hard to find land selling at unreserved auction, and this track 1 is a very nice farm with electric service. Has an 8-tower Renke pivot, bought new in 2003. Chemigation, there's chemigation tanks and equipment out there belonging to the tenant. There's 131.9 certified acres on the farm, and it's in the Upper Elkhorn district. The farm was planted to corn last season. It's very close to town and grain elevators, so be sure to check that one out or call Rex Mahoney. Sometimes, Drew, as you know, you've been to a lot of them, we have an open house at these auctions, and we invite people to come and meet us in Antelope County there, probably in Elgin or Neely, and we set up at the local hall or the local VFW, and we'll meet and greet people, have coffee for you. And so due to the coronavirus, we will not be conducting an open house or offering on-site bidding for this land auction. If you do not have access to the internet to bid or don't understand the process, please call BigIron Realty at 800-887-8625, and we will walk you through every single step. As always, please feel free to call the listing agent, Rex Mahoney, and that's the number I'd call if I were you. He answers all the time, 402-649-1816. So it's a 649 number, 1816. with any and all concerns or questions. So let me tell you about quarter number 2 here. That was tract number 1, Antelope County, and here's the one that's about $1,000 an acre less now. Very nice rolling farm, irrigated with a 10-tower Ranke. Now it's got an older Ranke. It's a 1978 Ranke, powered by a Ford V8 on natural gas. 133 certified irrigated acres in the upper Elkhorn, and all you need to do is be the last bidder on these farms next Thursday, and Rex Mahoney will make the paperwork very painless for you, and I believe closing is another 30 days after that. So folks, we are open for business. We are talking to people about selling their farm. We will still, we're being very, very cautious and respectful to our help. So we will meet you in one of our offices, but we're going to have you sit on one end of a table in a conference room that's been empty for a long time, at least 3 or 4 days. We switch conference rooms so we don't have people in the same room in the same day. We wipe the tables off, so if you want to come in and talk to us or one of our agents, that you'll be on one side of a table, we'll be on the other, a big screen TV. We can tell you all about the process. And now, Drew, is a really good time as ever to sell land. I mean, interest rates are cheap. There's not a lot of land on the market, so it's very robust bidding with it. And with the BigIron auction process, you can bid on it anonymously. So if you don't want to offend anybody or make your neighbor mad because you're bidding on a farm, and vice versa. So you can bid really privately with the same number you buy equipment with. So that really, really works good. And we're real excited about how good it's working. The land we've been selling, we're conservative when we tell you what we think it's going to bring. It is an unreserved auction, and that's what makes it work. But when we tell you a farm's going to bring $5,000 an acre, oftentimes it'll bring $6,000 an acre, because we don't want you to be disappointed when it's over with. So, we got a list of a lot of happy customers. This corn price is a disaster, but it does not seem to be affecting the land price very adversely. I suppose farmers are hoping that the corn price comes up in June. And of course, they're talking about doubling the Trump bucks, is what I'm hearing from farmers out there from last year. So anyway, I wanted to tell you too, everybody, stay safe. You know, this virus thing is going to be over whenever it's over, but we want to look back on it and think about it not totally negatively. We want to think about it as a time we spent with family and friends, and new way to socialize. But we don't want to think about it backwards as somebody in the family died or a friend died, because once that happens, you're not going to ever think about it anything but a disaster, right? So we don't want that to happen. So please be safe. As this thing gets beefed up a little more in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be more and more important to not have no shake hands. I'm suggesting, instead of staying 6 feet away, you stay 20 feet away. It's really not that hard. You can hear somebody 20 feet away. So, and of course, I've got these gloves that I bought at Home Depot, these little latex gloves. They cost me a whole $9 for a box of 100, so they're 9 cents a piece. And I just put them gloves on whenever I go in to fill up my car with gas, because there's already been people touching it. And when I put my credit card in, and then when I'm done, I take the gloves off and leave them right there. So I'm trying to be careful. It's just really common sense. So, but everybody stay safe out there, and thank you very much, Drew.
Mark, I'll pass this one on to you. Last week you shared with our audience that we were working with a partnership with a new firm called landrenter.com that is selling land leases via BigIron's online auction platform. We've got our first listing in Dodge County, Nebraska up on the site now. Can you give us an early read on the interest here?
Well, I tell you what, we've got quite a few people that have called and asked questions about the process, and we're just using the BigIron platform to establish the land lease price for the 2020 season on some land that's located in Dodge County north of Fremont. So if anybody's interested, you can go to BigIron.com and click on the date, which is April the 23rd, or you can go to landrenter.com, and on that website you'll be able to see the video footage of an interview with the actual landowner. He'll explain the quality of the land and the shape of the pivots. They just spent like $40-some thousand redoing the gearboxes and and a lot of the center drives on the pivot. There's 2 irrigation wells. The power units have all been serviced. They're all ready to go. And the only reason why this family is renting it out is because they're getting into more precision agriculture, and they don't have the labor force. So a good opportunity for anybody that wants to farm an additional 225 acres of pivot irrigated cropland in Dodge County, where the price of the lease is established through competition. All the terms of the lease, the actual lease document itself, is published on the website as well, so you can print that out and you can read through the terms, and it'll be auctioned off to the highest bidder on the 23rd, and if you sign the papers and make the payment, you can have possession of it the moment the papers are signed and the check's cashed.
Well, that's our show for today, folks. I'd like to thank our guests, Mark and Ron Stock, and remind everyone that the real estate mentioned on today's show can be found at BigIronRealty.com. The land mentioned up for lease can be found on LandRenter.com, and the equipment that was referenced on the April 15th auction on BigIron.com. For the Big Iron Buzz, I'm Drew Dolezal. We'll catch you here next week.